Camera confidence coach Molly Mahoney will bring your crowd to their feet, eager to share their awesome with the world via live video. She is known for energizing a room and inspiring others to step into an elevated sense of their own awesome. Molly pulls from her vast experience touring the world, working professionally as a performer for more than 10 years. She delivers clear steps that allow business owners to step into their spotlight so they can increase their visibility and bottom line with clarity, confidence, and joy. In addition to performance skills, she has a magical ability to make the complicated and technical easy and fun. Wow, that's what I would like. Technology to be easy and fun. Welcome, Molly. How are you?
I would love that too, right? I do have many tips about that. So I'm excited to dig in with you, Gail. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we keep hearing that Facebook Live is a game changer when it comes to bringing in leads. In fact, I have to tell you the truth. I'm going to a Facebook Live training seminar in a couple of weeks. So what makes it so unique, and how is it different than, pre-recorded video or other than live video platforms like Periscope?
Amazing. Great question. So and people might not realize this, because if you aren't very familiar with Facebook Live, I know this is kind of a mind-blowing experience sometimes. When you are watching a live video that was recorded live on Facebook or that is actually being streamed live at the moment, you're actually able to comment below the video in real time, and then also give likes and hearts and like laughing faces and all of that. So it encourages this really awesome way of communicating as a group. It really connects people and brings them together. And even if someone is watching a replay, they feel like they're having an actual conversation with you. So if you're watching a video that was pre-recorded on Facebook, it doesn't have that ability. If you try to comment on the video actually stops. But if it was pre-recorded live, you can be a part of the actual conversation. And then the thing that makes it different than Periscope is, as you may know, Periscope doesn't really have anything else besides these live videos. So Facebook, people are already there. They're already living in this space. And Facebook really wants to be the leader in the live video industry. And so they have bought ads on TV. They've bought ads on billboards on the sides of buses. And they are really pushing this live video thing so that the organic reach is way beyond anything else right now. There is nothing else you can do on Facebook that will get into people's news feeds more easily for free than live video.
Wow. Well, one of the things that people are afraid of, though, is because there are no do-overs. Because, there are so many people are saying, cut, let's do it again. So how do you find the confidence to go live? Because when you are live, if it's truly live, it's live, and whatever you do comes across. So, what happens there?
Yeah, so I like to say there's no go-zy backsies. My friend and coach Debbie Whitlock said that once, and I thought that was so funny. There are no go-zy backsies with live video, and I have had many things go wrong, which is super entertaining for people who are watching, but it can also be debilitating when you're worried about the judgment or about fears when things go wrong. So the number one thing is to make sure that you really tap into the fact that you are what you're bringing to the camera. So you take everything else from your business and you push it away. You bring it back later, but you push it away at first, and you recognize the things that make you uniquely awesome as a human being. And you trust in the fact that the more you can celebrate that, the more, being authentic can kind of be a buzzword, but the more authentic that you can be, and you really make sure that you bring that to your audience, and then they will have, people talk about that like no trust factor, which, your audience will be more inclined to actually come back and want more from you because they're able to connect with you as a human being. And I always say that everybody has something that makes them uniquely awesome, even if it's just that they make an amazing quesadilla. So I call it the quesadilla of awesome. And it's something that has really allowed my students and my clients to celebrate the things that they might not realize are special and unique. And then they search out those things in their audience as well, and they're able to connect as actual human beings, which is something that we often forget in business. It's like that's something that we're all craving, and it can actually, increase your connection with your potential clients.
Well, that's fabulous. So, but what was it, Molly, that inspired you to start using Facebook Live so strategically? I mean, there had to be something that clicked in your head.
It was a sheer desperation and a panic attack in a coffee shop. I had a pretty successful, I did an interview this morning where we were talking about the fact that so often an entrepreneur lives in a space where they almost wait for those disasters that will send them in a different direction, because those disasters can be such moments of clarity, right? So I had a pretty successful coaching business helping singers and musical theater performers to not only fine-tune their technique as singers and on stage performing, but also to have a business where they're either coaching or they're treating their actual performance skills as a business. Most people in college, when they go to school for any sort of art degree, they don't get any business training. So I had a pretty great individual coaching business within that space. And I launched this awesome course called Prepared Performer Profit. I had about 15 people in the pilot. It went really well. And then I amped it up and did this huge big launch for the full program. And I sold zero. I don't know why I made that up. I sold 0 spots in my full program. And I had worked so hard and pre-recorded all of this stuff. And it was like, how did this not work? And I have many reasons why I know it didn't work now. But at that moment, I was like, what else can I do that I'm kind of doing, that people would want more help with? And Facebook Live had just come out. It was so new, in fact, that I had to borrow my husband's iPhone because I didn't even have it on my Android. So,
wow.
Crazy. So have you had moments like that where you're in a panic attack state and then something brilliant comes to you?
Well, I think it's more than brilliant. I think it's desperation. So.
Totally. Right. So I met with a coach and I was like, what are we going to do? And I put together this whole course with just a spreadsheet. So I put together all that it would take to be able to build your business using Facebook Live on a spreadsheet. And I launched the course for hardly anything. And I taught it. I had without, much preparation, I had a $4,000 launch because I had so many people jump into this course. And I actually taught it live in a Facebook group. So there was no prep besides the spreadsheet. It was amazing. And then I started putting all that into action strategically. And it was like within a few months, I had made over $50,000.
Wow. So do you need extra software, apps, or anything like that to use Facebook Live?
There are a few that can help you to be able to go live from your desktop, to be, do fancier things. But really all you need is your phone. The pages, if you're going to go on your personal page, you need the regular Facebook app. If you want to go live on your business page, you need the Pages Manager app. And there are a few things that I suggest, like to get a tripod and, make sure the lighting is okay. But really, as long as you have a phone, and I recommend using a little headset with a microphone on it, you can go live from anywhere. And Wi-Fi. You need Wi-Fi. But it's so easy. It's super easy and affordable.
So do you recommend going live on just your personal page, or you think it should be a business page or in a group?
So I have some really strategic advice about what you should do with that, because number one is that Facebook doesn't want, in their terms of service, you shouldn't be using your personal page for really businessy things, But people can get freaked out because when they go live on their business page, especially when they're just starting off, they don't tend to get as much engagement. So here's my suggestion with that, is that when you go live on your personal page, I think you should use your personal page, but really make it about hanging out with your friends, kind of drop little bits and pieces about your business in there, and keep it more conversational, get more people to come on and just spend time with you actually while you're live. And then when you go live on your business page, make it super consistent. Keep it bullet pointed. It's great to have live interaction, but even if you don't have anybody there, I like to use the system I call the APR method, which is announce, pretend. So if no one's there, pretend people are, and then repurpose. Because I've had videos that have only had maybe 3 or 4 people on live, and then I've repurposed them, and now they've had, 20,000 views, 56 shares, 250 likes and hearts, and no one would ever know that there wasn't really anyone watching it live.
Well, that comes from being a great performer. I think that plays into that as well.
Yeah, and that's where the performance coaching that I offer my clients comes into place, because for me, it's easier, obviously, to pretend like that because I'm so used to having pretended on stage and auditions and, singing with my band or doing shows that I've done professionally. But I have some really, really fun performance coaching that we do in my Camera Confidence course so that you're given the tools to be able to speak and to treat yourself as the instrument that you're bringing. Hey, and then actually one little other thing I would add is if you're going to be using Facebook groups, that's a great way to use live video also, but you want to make sure that content is like exclusive so it feels really special because it's in that private group, and that can be an awesome way to get people into your group.
So, do you shoot this everywhere? I mean, do you need a professional background, or do you need a set, or what? I mean, can you have something on your business page that can be shot anywhere?
Yes. It does help eventually once you start doing it more strategically to be able to have some sort of set up that is consistent, but it doesn't need to be super fancy or super expensive. I have a couple of different backdrops I started using recently that are just paper that I ordered off Amazon, and they work really well. I also went to Home Depot and bought corrugated roofing material and spray painted it white, and that proves to be really, really polished looking. But what I do is I have people go on a scavenger hunt. So you go on a scavenger hunt within your own home, and you just start taking selfies. And once you're clear about your brand, if you know what you're bringing to the table, you can start to recognize that there's actually places within your home that you can find proper lighting. You can get the angles right so that they're most flattering for you, because that'll help you to be more confident. Play around with outside. Like I have this awesome brick wall in my backyard. For a while, I used to sit on my desk and do my videos above my desk because I didn't really have anywhere that was clear enough, but above my desk turned out to be awesome. So really it's all about playing and seeing how you can be intentional with the setup that you use.
Well, with all, you can imagine, I always laugh when I'm watching that, when NBC does their live musicals, because I think, oh my gosh, and they're pretty good. I don't know how to do it,
yeah.
But I'm sure you go live, because I remember, I'm old, so I can talk about these things. I remember when everything on television was live. Everything was live. And so,
right.
There were really no do-overs. I remember I started out doing some TV, and it was live. And if you bombed, you bombed. I mean, that was it. So I'm sure you had some interesting experiences where things have not gone exactly the way you wanted to. So can you share with us any of those, what you call crazy mishaps?
Gail, I have one that will literally blow your mind. And I don't know if you ever experienced anything like this while you were on, your awesome TV experience, but I have several, but I'll just share one with you right now, which is I was actually in my course where I was teaching live. Remember I told you that I launched it live? So there was a lesson that I was doing about getting the perfect thumbnail image, which is that image that you see come through your screen when the video is there, when it first pops up through your news feed. And I was showing them how to get the perfect thumbnail image. And I was really, being very educational and very on target and getting great tips going. And I was using a new selfie stick. So usually I used to use a tripod, but I got this cute selfie stick that had gold polka dots on it. And I thought, oh, this will be fun to use for today. It was a bad idea because the phone fell out of my selfie stick and landed directly between my legs, shooting up my skirt. I know we don't know each other very well. I have a really G-rated brand, so it was like one of the biggest disasters I've ever experienced.
Well,
did you ever experience?
I'm sure that people had a lot to say about it, but I'm sure they were laughing with you, not at you.
Oh my gosh. It ended up being, like I said earlier, one of those disasters that made things even better because I have a kind of a vintage flair, and I love to